Doug Williams with Viva Las Vegas Autos, bringing in another way cool car, as usual. This car is a 1992 Lincoln Continental Mark VII, and it's in the Bill Blass Designer Edition. Limited edition by Lincoln Mercury that year, and this is also the final year of this body style before they went to the Mark VIII. Anyways, the 7 Series Lincolns came out in, I think it was 1983, and wow, what an impression they made when they came out. I was working for Lincoln Mercury actually in 1988. One of my favorite vehicles to sell was the Mark VIII. The clientele for this car were very intriguing people. They wanted an American sports car, luxury, V8 power, two-door, something that would match up against, BMWs and Mercedes-Benz of the day, but they wanted pure American vehicle, and this was it. This was the vehicle. Cadillac at the time, their vehicles were just too small, and the Lincoln Mercury lineup with this Lincoln with 225 horsepower fuel-injected V8 out of the Fox body, basically, where that engine came from, 5-liter. Anyways, and I think the platform as well. But this car was quite the car, and it was also a rear-wheel drive car where the Cadillacs were front-wheel drive at the time. So this particular car is really quite an amazing vehicle. When I saw this on my list of cars on my specialty auction, one, I couldn't believe that it was a 44,000 original mile car and a one owner. And so it went on my list very quickly, and as soon as I saw it, I had to have it, which is probably what is going to happen to you, the buyer, whoever gets this vehicle, because it's so original and so clean and so nice. This vehicle is a rust-free vehicle, and there's no rust anywhere on this car, top to bottom, no cancerous type rust. The only thing that you see on the underside is superficial rust on iron parts where water gets there, but it's not rusty. There's no bolts that are rusted up or anything like that. And it's all in its original form with 44,000 original miles, which is pretty cool. It's got the original BBS Bill Blass wheels on it right there, and all the trim, all the original paint. It's never been painted anywhere. The bumpers are in literally perfect condition. That rubber on the bumpers in excellent condition. The car is obviously garage kept. The glass is original to the car. No damage on it. When I got it, the tires had plenty of tread, but they were extremely old. So I thought 15-year-old tires weren't going to do it for me, so I actually put brand new tires on it, so there's not 200 miles on those tires. Door panels are in excellent condition. All the chrome and bright work, excellent condition. The only damage on the entire car is right back here on the rear quarter, which I thought about repainting, but I thought, no. I don't want to repaint any aspect of this car. I'll let somebody who owns it do that so they know what the extent of the damage was, and it's very, very superficial, very minor. Very easy to fix as well. The rest of the paint on the car is absolutely stunning. Remarkable condition. A little bit of fade on the rubber part above the bumper there, between the bumper and the taillights. That's about it. But again, the bumper's in pristine condition, rubber, and the chrome. Everything works on this car too. The suspension obviously has been probably either replaced at some time or redone because it works perfectly, and it's in excellent condition and functions the way it should. The rubber bladders on the air suspension, hydraulics, are in excellent condition. They don't seem to have any problems whatsoever, and the rubber looks good and uncracked as well. But this car drives fantastic and extremely original, which is really cool to see. Let's take this thing for a spin. When you look at the interior is outstanding. Door panels and the carpet on the door panels is outstanding. Top of the doors are outstanding. The door edges there. The leather seats are in literally about pristine condition. The rear seat doesn't look like anybody's even sat in it at all. The carpet's, again, in excellent condition. One thing that also happens on a lot of older cars, the headliners start to sag. The headliner in this car is perfect. Lincoln's wonderful dinger when you get in. Thank goodness it shuts off when you close the door. ABS, and airbags all functioning properly. The air conditioning blows ice cold in this car. The previous owner did add a CB. It doesn't function. I don't know if it's unplugged or what, but leave that to somebody to decide. But everything else works. 112 degrees outside. I'm really glad that the air conditioning does work too. Very important for us here in Las Vegas. Steering wheel, the leather steering wheel is in excellent condition, indicative of a car with 44,000 miles. Of course, we did the Carfax on this car, and it does check out to be original and to be one owner. Trunk works properly. It has a self where it brings it down when you shut it. That functions properly. The dash is in perfect condition, no cracks. All the visors work, and even the mirrors, their lights work. This car drives fantastic too. If you look at the service records on this car, it's very interesting. The guy drove it, just not a lot, and serviced it regularly. When you look at our ad, you'll be able to see all the servicing that this car's had over the years since new, and you'll be able to also see documented mileage that came right from Carfax on that service records that we have. The suspension works perfect. There's no slop in the steering wheel, no slop in the suspension. Brakes work flawless. They're about like new as well. When you see the pictures, you'll see that the brake pads were about like brand new. Car's had exceptional service, and obviously a one owner to keep it since 1992. This was more than just a car to that owner. Cars like this is what I look for, ones that have been treated with extreme care, that have been loved and maintained. And my guess is that the dent on the rear of the vehicle is probably why the guy traded it in, because it looks fairly fresh, and he was probably sad that his baby had gotten a mar on it, and my guess is that was probably why he traded it in. Who knows why, but sometimes people just, you know, after 20 plus years, they get tired of the vehicle, and this one's obviously been in his possession nearly 30 years, so it's pretty cool length of time for a car to be in one man's possession, or woman's, but my guess is it's probably a guy. Very rarely did I have women buy these Mark 7s and Mark 8s at the Lincoln Mercury store that I worked at. But started my business at Lincoln Mercury and had a great fondness for these Lincolns, because they're built well, they were nice to drive, they were comfortable. The two versions of this vehicle, they had the LSC Sport version, then they had the Blass Designer and other Designer Series. The Designer Series had a lot more comfortable seats, where the LSC had these very, very tight, almost like Recaro type seats in them. They're real nice, but for the guys that liked luxury, they usually went for the Designer Series cars. And here it is. Transmission shifts perfectly, engine drives great, no issues we could see. So if you have a question about what to buy this car for, don't send me that awful email that says, what's your bottom line, what's your reserve? I hate those emails, so don't send it. Call me. Call Doug at Viva Las Vegas Autos at 702-353-7500, and I'll be happy to talk to you about what you could buy this car for and what you're willing to offer. I've found over 30 years it has nothing to do with what I want or what I think I might want. It only has to do with what a willing buyer is willing to pay. And that's the bottom line, is what you're willing to offer. Nothing matters until you bring some cash out of your pocket and say, this is what I want to pay. If you're looking for a special car, this is it. So call me at Viva Las Vegas Autos, and we'll see you soon. Hopefully you'll be the owner of this great 1992 Lincoln.